The first time that we really got to know each other, we had been in a semester-long group project within that first class where we met. We went out into a community, and as we were leaving, we decided to stop by a yard sale for really no reason other than just to end the day on a fun note.
Because we were 18, that's why.
That's right. And I popped my trunk for whatever reason, and there was a tennis racket in it. Kaylee remarked how she had played in high school, and we kind of, for the first time, talked about things outside of school and work, and we're friends from then on. We started dating in the spring of our sophomore year, got engaged the very first day of our senior year, and then married about a month after we graduated from undergrad. If we have opposite schedules, one of us being on nights, one on days, where one of us comes in a little early and spends a little time or brings dinner in to have what we refer to as a hospital date. We had actually gotten back from Great Smoky Mountains National Park on a small backpacking trip, and I decided to go for a run, and then the next day I decided to go for a run, and after a certain number of days, I decided I would just see how long I could do it.
We matched, we found out we were staying at UK, we took our pictures, and then we immediately got in the car and went to Asheville, North Carolina and ran a half and a full marathon. So it was the best Kentucky fall day. It was just idyllic. The weather was beautiful. It was nice and blue skies with fluffy white clouds, and we were actually going out to Versailles to the orchard to have a party. And then after that, as good Kentuckians do, we decided that we were gonna stop by my parents' house on the way home and watch the rest of the UK football game. We packed up and went home around like 10:30 that night.
And the last thing that I remember from that night was putting on my shoes at Kaylee's parents' house. I don't remember if we were listening to music or talking or sitting in silence. But I don't have a lot of memory for the next about 48 hours at that point. We were hit head on in our lane by a drunk driver. I have a brief memory of the oral surgery team, the maxillofacial surgery team, suturing my face. I had exposed skull on arrival, and they had to, took them about 4 hours to sew my face back up. I did have an open femur fracture, meaning my femur bone in my upper left leg was sticking out of my skin, as well as my tibia in my lower leg. Somehow my fibula did not break. I did have 18 fractures between my nose, my upper jaw, and my eye sockets or my orbits. And then I had a frontal skull fracture over my left forehead. I had metal plates as well as brackets put into my face to stabilize that. All these pieces of metal I still have today. And I was admitted to the trauma ICU. Now it's like a neat thing to know the people that cared for me and to have gotten to talk to them about what it was like for them to see me come into that space and instead of being their colleague responding to things, being their patient. Since I've been back at work, I've made it kind of a small project of mine as I see people both in the hospital or out in the community to take a picture with them and ask their permission if, hey, it was such an honor for me to be taken care of by you. And I now have a folder on my phone called People Who Took Care of Me. And it's
awesome.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
We like send them Christmas cards now. It's just so amazing.
Yeah. 18 or 19 days after the original accident was when I was discharged home from rehab. The day that I went home from rehab would have been my 3-year anniversary of running 1 mile every day. So it was a very bittersweet day. It was obviously nice after being away from home without having these plans. Very nice to be going home, but bitter to know that I wouldn't be able to go home in the same state that I had left. And even now, as I'm still continuing to go through physical therapy, it is both amazing to reflect back on the things that 6 months ago, a year ago, I wasn't able to do, and to think at the time it would have been hard for me to believe I am where I am now. I am back to running. I have run a little bit less than 20 miles in 1 or up to 1.5 mile increments over the last few months.
We're just so thankful for the community of Lexington and UK specifically, who have come alongside us and celebrated with us as Vince has done so well.